Namaskara and hello everyone. My name is Adish Wali and I'm part of the Research and Policy project at Faith and Belief Forum. Faith and Belief Forum is a charity which works towards a connected and supportive society where people of different faiths, beliefs, and cultures come together to have a strong, productive, and lasting relations in the society in the UK. And today I'm here with Maria and Hannah, the impeccable part of the Research and Policy project, who are going to be the vital speakers of this podcast on the topic of social integration of climate migrants. Over to you, Maria.
Hi everyone, I'm Maria and I'm also part of the Faith and Belief Forum. And before I go on to talk about why I joined this project, I just want to tell you a little bit about this project itself. So we are the research and policy team at the Faith and Belief Forum, and we are currently working on recommending policy solutions that bring about effective social integration of climate migrants. And we are hoping to champion these recommendations more broadly with a public campaign. Would you like to add anything about the project, Hannah Radish?
Yeah, so the project, we're quite a small team. We all come from various different backgrounds and beliefs as well. And so far, we've managed to create a policy brief. And in the meantime, we're just focusing on contacting key individuals that would be really great to join in the Parliament meeting. So yeah, that's what we're doing so far.
And so let me get into the podcast and introduce you about what is exactly climate migrants. Climate migrants are also known as environmental migrants and as well as climate refugees, who are individuals or group of people who are forced to vacate and leave their homes and communities and due to the adverse impacts of the climate change. And these impacts can be various, that is rising sea levels, extreme weather events such as hurricanes, floods, and cyclones. Due to this, they need to leave their own community, and they need to go out to a different place, and they need to be habitable. So let us start this podcast with my amazing team of speakers by asking them like a very first question, that is why this topic interested you, and also can you share like a personal experience or a story what intrigued to go on about this project and get on with this campaign as well. And can I start with Hannah?
Yeah, so I come from a small island, and the island is called Comoros, is in East Africa. And a couple of years ago, I found out that our island is prone to sinking within the next 20 to 30 years due to climate change. I've also had relatives who'd had to flee to other countries in the past because we have a volcano on the island and it erupted and there was rising sea levels. So due to that experience, I really felt that it was important for me to join this project and raise awareness about just how dangerous climate change is and just how damaging it is to other people's lives as well. And plus, in my faith, we are required to stand up for justice and make sure that the earth is protected. We are responsible for the earth. It's a stewardship and we have to take it seriously. So those are the main factors that drew me to this project.
What do you think, Maria, about it? And is there any personal interest or experience what you have come across as well?
Yeah, just like Hannah, I do have a personal connection to this topic as well. So, unfortunately, I've had to witness many in my country move because of climate change. So, I think many of you will probably be aware that Pakistan last year was struck by historic flooding, which displaced around nearly 8 million people. And as the flood waters began to rise, people were forced to flee from their homes. Some sought refuge in camps, some went to live with family members, but many, ended up living on the side of the roads under the open sky. And my family, they live in Karachi, and which is one of the major cities in Pakistan. And we saw, when we were in Karachi, we saw a lot of migration coming into the city as a result of the floods. So yeah, it's just a very important thing for me because I have personally witnessed what the impacts of climate change are, and it's only just going to get worse because by 2050 it's estimated that Pakistan will have nearly 2 million climate migrants within its borders, which is frankly shocking, and it just calls for urgent action. Because if you look at the facts, it is mostly the UK, the US, or the EU countries that are responsible for climate change emissions due to the historic concentration of the industry. Yet it is poorer countries like Pakistan that are suffering the consequences. So I think because we are in the UK, and we are responsible for such emissions, we have to take action and help these countries, because they are the ones that are suffering the consequences, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's really understandable. And for me, I guess what interested me because like I feel that it's like a social responsibility to all of us as a human to care for each other, and as well as in our faith as well in Hinduism, it's about dharma. Dharma is more of nothing but like one's duty or like moral responsibility. And according to this Hindu philosophy, like we understand that that all beings, whether it can be like human beings, animals, and nature, the plants, or environment as a whole, are all integrated to each other. So it's our moral responsibility to act accordingly and be supportive to each other. And which is why, due to the climate change, there are many migrants even in India, because like in a couple of years back when came across this particular floods in one part of coastal region in India, that is Kerala, because there are a couple of my friends who were in the UK as well. So I had to reach out to them, and just by calling and asking them how are they and how are their families back in the state, because they were in UK with me and they couldn't come back and help them because the whole state and with most of the regions was flooded and everything was washed out. So from different parts of India and even the world, like we sent out the essentials whatever was required then and there, and we also like donated like a relief care funds which could help out them. So these are the adverse conditions what I came across at a personal level as well, and I thought like I can give my part by being part of the project and give my opinion in the campaign as well, and reaching out to the more people so that it becomes like an awareness program to everyone and understand how vital and how important this particular topic and the thing is. And going ahead with, uh, can we understand and like what key factors can help us out to contribute the social integration of the climate migrants in the UK or anywhere outside, like in anywhere in the world? What do you think? Yeah,
Sorry, just to clarify, is this like practical steps, or is it more like the social integration into the local communities?
no, I'm just asking like an overall perspective of like factors and even practical steps as well, like including both. So yeah.
Okay, yeah. I think social in, social integration, in order for like social integration to actually occur, I think we need a welcoming community. And to be very honest, from what I've witnessed, from what I've experienced, the UK does have this negative outlook on migrants. There's this mindset that the public has that's very negative about migrants. And I think the first step to take is to actually work on influencing or changing that mindset, which will help migrants integrate into society, because all migrants want is a community where they can get on with people. Because I remember when I came to the UK with my family, for a brand new life here, there were times when I felt really lonely, when we felt really lonely. So just like, away from a neighbor, or just like your friends being interesting in your life back home, asking about you, and stuff like that really does help you feel welcomed and included into the community. So I think it's just like being welcoming and having that positive outlook, and just these little things. I think these little things can mean a lot to climate migrants. And there are obviously practical steps that the government can take and other people can take, which I can talk about obviously. But I think it's these little things that matter the most to people on an individual level. I don't know what you guys think. Do you guys agree with me, or am I just speaking nonsense?
No, I 100% agree. You know, we need to have more compassion towards they're human beings at the end of the day. And I heard a really powerful quote from someone recently who said that one day we could be a climate migrant. Our circumstances could change overnight. I mean, look at what happened in Turkey. You know, so many millions of people died in an earthquake, and we're an island. The UK is an island as well, and anything could happen to us. So it's just having basic compassion. And just to build on your point as well, a way that the community can support migrants is through a buddying system, or just holding small events, meetings, activities that they can do with the migrants, you know, finding people that speak their language so that they can feel more connected to this new state that they're in, and just help them, you know, settle in better through those steps. Is really not that hard. We can do so much as a community, and if we just ally together, change could happen.
And also there are certain things what can be helpful for the social integration. I would say that we can have kind of cultural exchange and language support, I guess, because there are different people coming from different community who have who know different languages, so that we need to have certain set of course or training so that they can interact with each other in the community, and also understand how they can speak to each other and how they can settle down. And also like we as community can provide them with a particular employment opportunities, because at the end of the day they need to have a livelihood by staying in the region what they are migrating to, because at the end of the day they need to feed their own families as well. And also, if we provide some good education opportunities, so even the children of those families can even study and get good education. And in turn, in the future, those young people can become the future community and host the then next migrants who come to the region again. So I guess, I think educating and providing awareness throughout the region as well, I think will be a great step in order to understand and how to tackle helping these climate migrants who come into the community. And also I would like to know what can the steps taken by the government and also by other communities in general, what can they take in a practical way to make sure that we help out the climate migrants appropriately.
To help migrants integrate into society. But I think one of the most effective ways would be having targeted housing policies, because I think an affordable and decent accommodation is really a prerequisite for successful integration of migrants, because it prevents the development of parallel societies where migrants are just concentrated together, and that kind of creates divisions between our societies, which does not help social integration at all. So having those housing policies will help migrant societies communicate better with the local people in those who are already settled in those societies, and it will just help them integrate better into society eventually, and will reduce the negative impact, such as the increase in crime in the future. So I think that's one way that government could help. Another way would be to take into consideration the special needs of vulnerable groups, for example. So, vulnerable groups like women or children or elderly people or people with disabilities, taking their needs into consideration is very important. So, for example, if you increase the possibility for migrant children to attend kindergartens or other daycare facilities, would eventually allow women to attend education and have access to employment. So I think that those are like two key ways in which we can help, which the government can help integration of climate migrants. What do you think, Hannah? What are there any other policies that you could think of?
Yeah, those are two really great points. And just to build on that, they could also, provide migrants with just a small bursary. They need help financially as well. They've just arrived in the country. They have absolutely nothing. They're already traumatized as it is. Sorry. So just providing them with a small bursary, whether it be a weekly bursary or monthly bursary, and again giving them access to English language tools, whether it be online or in person, especially nowadays. Everything's virtual, it's very easy to access. So they could, take mini courses to just gain confidence and communicate with other members in the community that, they may feel alienated because they've never seen them before. As a new culture, as a very big culture shock for them. So I think that could be a really, really helpful way for them to integrate into society.
What do you think, Adish?
Yeah, yeah. Now, one thing I guess the government can take some measures to introduce some policies which can, like in terms of like food and the very basic essentials which are required, like to women and the children and who come in, because like they are a vital and integral part of society and they need much care. And um, and as well cor- and as well government can ensure that they can give like subsidized rates at like at the food essentials, like the ingredients and everything what they wanna like what they need to cook in the day-to-day basis. So I guess that'll be more easier for them to have a good livelihood to start with, because it's gonna be like a very difficult, because they don't come from their community to our community like so easily, and we can't expect them to have like to be in a good economic situation. So I guess we need to consider properly and understand their capacity, what they can afford, so that like if they have particular some subsidized rates or some policy which can be provided to only particular the climate migrants as well. And the government can set up like certain stores like near the climate migrants, like where they're residing, where they've provided a shelter, as you said, the housing policies and everything. So in that particular like the region or the area, like they can set up like a particular the essential stores, so where they can give at a subsidized rates compared to other like stores what we have in the UK. So I guess that can be like a real and important aspect what government can consider in order to go ahead with.
Yeah, those
And
are really interesting points. I do agree. I think that's very important. I'm just thinking back to like many experience that migrants do face. One of the hurdles that migrants face is that they come to this country with a lot of degrees and skills, but most of those degrees and skills are not recognized in this country, which can be a big hurdle for their employment opportunities. So I think one thing government could do is to recognize those qualifications, um, because that would really help them get employment, according to their skills and the qualifications that they have. Sorry, back
That's
to you, Adish.
No, sorry, that's a really good point, Maria, because again, the video that I was watching recently about migration, one of the migrants, he's from Syria, and he said, back home, I was a doctor. I had my own clinic. I had my own, job. I was established in the neighborhood. Everyone knew me, and I have absolutely nothing now. I have to start from scratch, and I'm not recognized in this community. He came to the UK. So again, just to recognize that these people, they were established too. They had a life too. They need support. They need help, and we're more than capable of giving them that help. And just to add on to your point as well about women, a lot of women, they come here, they have children, they have babies, they want to work, they want to earn money, but they can't because of their child. Maybe we could even set up daycares, especially for them, affordable ones, just so that they can get on their feet and start saving a little bit of money. There's so many different ways we could go about it. And I'm excited, honestly, because there is hope. As glim as it may seem at the moment, there is hope for this country when it comes to migrants.
And like one thing what I've noticed about UK as a country is because 6 years back in 2017 I came as a student, as an international student. And the best part about UK was like we have people from all over the world. Like we have people from every part of the world, like be it Asia, be it Africa, be it even America as well, or be it even Australia. So there are different kinds of the people from different kinds of region, and plus even from Europe there are students from different kinds of from different countries as well. So I got to especially in my first year, and I was like the only Indian in the class, and moreover other models as well. So for me it was an opportunity to interact with different people from different cultures, and to also learn the different kinds of food what they like. And even I got to know that the people who they liked our own country's food as well. So I guess like UK is like a perfect home for migrants as well. I would agree with that. And along with that, I guess the government needs to set up like a proper policy so that uh, so that the migrants come like legally, not via illegal ways or something, because that can hamper the opportunities for the citizens and the people who are living in the UK. And uh, and and the and and also like I have come across like recently, I guess there are certain policies which are introduced by government in order to ensure the migrants are migrants are ensured like proper refuge in the UK, as well as they're also like getting on with the policies in order to stop illegal migrants as well. So I think that's a good initiative what the government has taken, and along with that they can do more a bit for the climate migrants, because I think the UK is like one of the best home for the migrants, which they can find new opportunities and also have a place to interact with everyone from all over the world as well.
I definitely do agree. I think we are so lucky to have such a diverse population. It's just a shame that there isn't anything set up to, help them integrate better into our society. But honestly, we are so lucky to have such a diverse community, because it fosters so much. Just it's just lovely, isn't it? When you meet people from diverse cultures, it's amazing. It's amazing to have that.
Yeah, exactly. 100% agree with what you said, Adish. It's all about building connections. And once you build connections with people from all over the world, it makes you feel more comfortable. You're not just an alien or a minority. There are other people who may not be in similar conditions as you, but they are different. They come from all over the world. And it's just, we're very lucky in that sense, especially in London. I mean, I haven't visited other cities in the UK, but I just know, based from my personal experience living here, it's just so beautiful and diverse.
um, and also like what do you guys think that how young people, like we young people from different faith and belief and backgrounds can create an impact, and also what would be our message to the young people who are watching this podcast can contribute to our policy about considering about the climate migrants and the climate change overall.
That's a good question. Just give me a minute, I'll think about that.
Whilst you're thinking, Hannah, I'll go for it. I think as young people, we've got all the energy, okay? We've got a fresh perspective. So all we need to do is come out. We need to come out, whether that's on social media or whether it's on the streets. Just come out and say what we've got to say. Share your diverse perspective. It doesn't matter where you come from, where you're from. Anything that adds to your identity will add to the movement that you are raising your voice for. So bring your energy, bring your voice, and that's all we need really. And if you are passionate about the climate migration issue, because climate change affects everyone. It does not discriminate. And climate migration is such an important issue in this. Currently, it's such an important issue because it's affecting a lot of people around the world. So it's definitely an issue that you should be concerned about. So I would definitely encourage you to share your thoughts with us, whether that's with us or whether individually, whether that's with your family or on social media. Do share your thoughts, and raise your voice for climate migrants, because often they are the ones who are excluded from the conversation. So be the voice of the voiceless. That's my message to the young people.
I think my message would be, don't lose hope. There's a lot of devastation that's happening across the world right now. We're all dealing with our own problems, our own stresses, our own anxieties. But at the end of the day, you have more power than you even can imagine. As Maria said, social media, we have so much power with social media. There's so much we can do with social media. Just one simple post can really, teach people. People aren't aware of just how bad this issue is at the moment. I wasn't aware until recently. By 2050, there's going to be 1.2 billion climate migrants, and it's only going to get worse. So just, use the little knowledge or vast knowledge that you have and just post on social media, watch videos, watch podcasts, gain even more knowledge, because at the end of the day, knowledge is power. The more the more confident you will be, and the more willing that you are to, join other organizations and, fight for these migrants that need help.
Um, Personally, I really agree with you, both of your point of views, because that is mainly what we are understanding and addressing about. Like us, just as young people who have joined on this particular initiative about the resident policy project with the Faith and Belief Forum, because we understood and we came across these situations and we thought that we need to be part of this initiative, because I guess if not others, why not us? Because along with others, because we felt that this is our responsibility as well as young people, because we are the future, because we are the leaders of tomorrow. It's not like the young people are the leaders of tomorrow. We are the leaders of today itself, because we are going to impact from today to the next moment. And also the young people, and the best thing about the youth and the young people is the unlimited energy what we have. Because if a topic interests us, and we understand, and we also have like a personal connect to it, we give in all our energy and all our impact in order to make sure that we get it. So that's like one of the best part. Like we have come through like from different diverse faiths and beliefs, and as well. And also I agree that at the start you spoke about in your faith you believe that it's like a moral responsibility as well. And also it's same in our faith, that is Hinduism. Even in that, like it's dharma, it's one's social and moral responsibility to make sure that we're all interconnected, and we also need to make sure that we help each other um, in this world to have a better peaceful world in overall. And towards ending this particular podcast, what we have this amazing opportunity given to us by the Faith and Belief Forum. I would like to thank them, and also the impeccable speakers, you, Maria, and Hannah, who have collaborated with me to have this particular introduction. Why we are going ahead with the writing and the making and the presenting of the policy of the social integration of climate migrants in the parliament. And uh, and also I would like to tell everyone who are watching this podcast, you can be part of this particular initiative and the policy by filling up the survey what we have on the social media channels of the Faith and Belief Forum. And you can fill up the survey and make your voice heard. And once again, I would like to thank Maria and Hannah to be part of this particular podcast. To start off this was our first podcast to start with this particular topic, and let's hope to go on with the number of podcasts with the various topics what we can come and address as well.
The pleasure is all mine, Adarsh. It's been great. It's been just like this whole journey has been. This podcast has been very enlightening as well. It has been great talking to you and learning about you both as well. Adish, I did not. I had no idea about dharma and everything, so it was very interesting to learn about that. And Hannah, your experience was very enlightening as well. So I would like to thank you both for providing with me with more knowledge about this topic. Really, and every day I learn something new. So thank you both. It's been great being on this podcast.
The pleasure's all mine. I mean, I really enjoyed this session, interacting with you both, gaining insight about your background and your passions in life as well. And just a quick message to anyone that's listening to this right now. As Adish said, please do fill out the survey. And if you're not really interested in volunteering, or you feel that it's not really your thing, I would just say, gain knowledge, use social media, search on YouTube about climate migrants. I think that's really important, because at the end of the day, the more the more aware you will be, and the more you will care about this project. So just thank you everyone for giving me this opportunity.
Yeah, and thank you so much once again for the viewers of this podcast. Let's collaborate soon uh, in the upcoming podcast series what we're gonna have by the Faith and Belief Forum, and let's look forward to making a change in this world for a better peace. Thank you all.